What's going on, guys? How are ya? We are sitting, John and I, my business partner. Actually, this is November 25th. Happy birthday, John.
Thank you.
2024. We are in our warehouse, in our new expanded, actually the expansion of our warehouse. So obviously it's a new warehouse, but it's connected to our current facility, and we wanted to just shoot a quick video before we started using it. And so I guess just a little reflection. Obviously this has been a long time coming. We probably thought about, I don't know, this expansion. How long ago do you think, John?
4 years. Started talking about it.
Yeah,
2 years got serious.
Yeah, probably 4 or 5 years ago, easy, because it was pre-COVID.
Yeah.
COVID was March 2020, so we're in 2024, so probably 6 years ago. Yeah. So anyway, if you guys don't know, this is the first time you're tuning in. You know, John and I started Albemarle Paper in 2009. We sell paper products, disposables to restaurants. And started out just us two, doing everything.
From getting orders to loading trucks to delivering.
Going to the bank, you know, anything literally that had to get done. You know, we handled all of it. And, you know, over the years, the company just gradually grew. You know, we hired a driver, and then we hired
a sales
rep, and
some
then
warehouse workers.
My brother came on board. Cooper, some guys that have been with us for 12, 13, 14 years now. And so to actually now, you know, so we're in 2024 and, you know, we've had this expansion, and so it's cool. It's cool to kind of reflect and kind of see where we've come from, what we've done, the accomplishments. I don't know, it seems a little surreal sometimes.
For sure. And it feels like it happened so quick, but it's been
15 years.
15 years.
Yeah.
So
anything that stands out to you, John, like after, you know, a project like this, you know, from, I don't know, 10, 12, 15 years ago, things that we used to do, or I don't know, like, does it stand, I mean, where we're at now versus where we were?
The one thing that just stands out is how many employees we have working for us and how many lives we, you know, help out and families. You know, that's one of my main goals was to, you know, be able to support different families by working for us and have them reach their goals. You know, just not just provide jobs, but, you know, provide, you know, for everybody's family and keep growing.
It's an interesting thing. I think someone asked me that recently about like just, you know, what continues to motivate me to, you know, John, just so you guys know, if you guys can't tell by our outfits, I gravitate a little more towards sales. John is more operations, purchasing. But, you know, it's interesting that, you know, the bigger we get, the more pressure I feel to make sure that we continue to grow and perform, because we got close to 20 people now working and paying their rent, paying their mortgage, paying their car notes, insurance, private school, kids, daycares, you know, so, you know, that, I guess, I don't know, motivates me, kind of forces me to continue to stay sharp and move the needle forward and make sure we continue to grow, because, you know, people are important to us. You know, we love our people, take care of our people, and we know that we couldn't do anything without our people.
100%. You know, to scale the way that we have, to do it alone, impossible, you know, and I'm just blessed for the employees that we've got here that have helped us do that. Some key people helping us grow, and it's just been, we've been very blessed.
Yeah, so. Each person plays a role. Each position in a company plays a role. You know, oftentimes whenever we have our meetings, I'll refer back to like a watch. You know, every part of the watch is instrumental on making sure the time is correct. You know, and so whether it's our sales team, whether it's our office, making sure things are correct and, you know, whatever, you know, precise, warehouse, drivers, everybody plays a certain role. And so, you know, we couldn't do it without you guys. Appreciate you guys.
Yep.
You know, you guys are the best. So anything from back in the day, John, that you remember that, you know, besides how fast time has gone, which doesn't it? Time goes by so quick. I cannot even believe we're about to wrap up 2024.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we just started 2024, but you know, it's November 25th, end of the year.
Yep.
Holidays are coming, so
Yep.
I don't know, man. Just there's so many things that have changed throughout the years, and you know, from loading in the morning and pulling orders in the morning to loading at night now.
And then it got so busy.
Yeah.
That we'd get there to load up at 7, and then it was 6:30, and then it was 6, and then it was 5, and it was like, wow, like at some point we can't load up in the morning. It's getting too busy, so let's move to afternoon or kind of second shift.
Yep.
Loading up trucks.
So that was a big move.
That was a big move. Very uncomfortable. Nobody liked it.
Yeah, but we to be able to keep growing, that was something that we had to do, and that's one thing that's been good for us. We can adapt and change to what we need to do to grow, and we always like to take advice from our employees on what we can do to change, and we've done a lot of changes, and we will continue to do changes to mold this company to be able to move forward, and that's, I think, one of our greatest strengths as well, is we're able to adapt to different styles and what we need to do to keep growing. As some companies, they're stuck in their ways, and you can't grow when you're just stuck, because the world changes.
Now,
you got to change with it.
And saying that, it's not easy. Changing is not easy. It's uncomfortable for everybody. I don't like change, but change is necessary. Adjusting, pivoting, adapting, becoming a 2.0, 3.0 version of yourself. Same thing for the business. The business has to, in order to go to the next level, the mindset of the leadership and the management has to go to the next level. We've got to get more disciplined, more thoughtful. So, a lot of changes over the years. I don't know. I remember just not knowing anything about anything and just being naive and just trying to just grow day by day, week by week, and slowly we'd start new routes. We'd have a route out in Pinehurst. That was our Monday route to Pinehurst, down that area, Carthage area. Then Tuesday was the Salisbury area. Those were the only two routes that we had in the beginning.
Then we brought in Wednesday, Concord.
And then that grew.
That one grew.
Sally was just telling us, was it last weekend? Yeah, she was telling us that before we even made it out to Hickory, she was saying that I talked a lot about, I have connections in Hickory. I know people in Hickory. We're excited to go out there in Hickory. I don't remember any of that, but it's so funny how she remembers, before we even went that way out west. You know what I mean? So that's interesting. That's funny.
Yeah, I mean, when we've been in this industry so long, we can't remember everything, but I'm glad we have employees that's been with us so long that remind us of some of the things that we have said and done and kept our promise to do. So
I mean, it's even since, I think Sally's been here in 9 years in a couple months, and so before her, we didn't do our own books. We kind of outsourced that. We didn't have health insurance. We didn't do any pay time off. We didn't do any 401k. None of that. All just in the last 9 years. So it's been exciting. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the space. The expansion.
Yep.
Obviously, we talked about 4 or 5 years ago. This was kind of a dream. Listen, just so you guys know, we don't manufacture anything. We are distributors. We're wholesalers. So essentially, we buy from manufacturers and then just resell to restaurants, catering companies, food trucks, daycares, anybody that uses disposable products. And so space is our business. If we don't have space to buy or make deals or negotiate or buy an extra half truck or full truck, then we can't create the profit margin, the delta that we need to make money. And so John being in purchasing, I'd want him to make more deals, and he would say, I don't have any room to put any of the products. And so, because then people come to you with deals and opportunities, but if we didn't have the space to buy it, it's really difficult to capitalize on it.
For sure.
So our facility here we bought March of 14.
Yep.
It's a 25,000 square foot building. It came with 11 acres. It was an egg distributor that had been closed for 7 years. They closed in '07. So we bought it in 14, got a great deal on it, and then we were here for 10 years before we actually expanded. And so let's talk a little bit about the size, the space, the facility. Talk a little bit about that, John. Even that whole process, finding a contractor, and then having an architect, and then, you know.
I mean, just look at this place. It's massive, 30,000 square feet. Our original warehouse was 25,000 square feet, so we more than doubled our space. You know, the process started with, you know, reaching out to different contractors, telling them kind of the idea of what we wanted, and then coming back with, you know, some preliminary numbers and some bids. You know, we had some great contractors come out here and we interviewed. You know, I want to thank all of them for giving us some great ideas. So yeah, that process was, you know, very difficult because we've never been through that. We've never built anything ourselves, so a lot of learning throughout this whole process. But I'm, you know, blessed that we had a great contracting team here that kind of helped us walk us through.
Which you know, if you know, if no one's ever built anything, like John said, we never, you know, we rented a 5,000 square foot building. We bought a 25,000 square foot building existing, and then this is the first thing we've ever built. I mean, I haven't even built a home. I mean, this is the first thing I've actually built. You know, it's interesting, you know, like John talked about interviewing contractors, you know, we don't know what that process was like. You know, we wanted to find a company that can help us, teach us, show us. And by the way, no one's perfect, but you want to find a good team, a good people that care. You know, once you find people that care and do things the right way and don't cut corners, you know, and so, you know, obviously you want to find a good fit that, you know, that you mesh well. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You know, so anyway, so obviously we found some contractors, South Side out of South Charlotte, you know, great company, Eric, Randy, the whole team, they've been phenomenal through the whole process. And so then it's the architecture, putting plans together.
Yep, telling them what we want, kind of having an idea, letting them know, hey, this is what we do, this is how we run the business, so design the building around that.
And then, you know, they would ask us questions, right?
For sure.
Like, you know, it'd be a little more expensive, but if you wanted a clear span building with no beams down the middle, that is an option. It's gonna be a little more expensive. You know, roofing styles. Do you want this? It's a little cheaper, or do you want this? You know, floating. Do you want how high of a ceiling do you want? Right? You know, do you want to go up with it? You know, and so these are all questions and ideas we didn't know that we didn't know to ask. We didn't know anything.
Exactly, and you know, could we have done things a little different now that I see the building and how I want it? Of course, but you know, that's all part of the process.
Yep.
Next building that we build, I'm gonna know what I want and how I want it designed.
Yep.
But you know, the main thing is we got our space here. I'm gonna be able to buy in bulk.
Yep. Do more custom items for people.
Yep.
Help them out. You know, just we're here to help out the customer, the consumer, right?
Exactly.
The restaurant, the client. If we can help them out and provide a solution to a problem, then you know what? It's a great partnership for both of us. You know, a good deal is when both parties benefit, not when one gets to the edge over the other. Like that, for me, that's a good deal when both parties benefit.
Yeah. So that gives us the power to, you know, the opportunity to buy in bulk and save money for our customers and pass that along. So it's just been a great opportunity for us to keep growing. You know, that's what we've always wanted. We want to just keep growing and be one of the biggest names in the industry, and one step at a time. And you know, that's what we've done. We've done one step at a time, and it's proven to work for us. And this is just another step for us to keep growing.
So architect, we went through that. That was interesting, changing things up a little bit. We, you know, had civil drawings. You know, the state wanted to plant a certain amount of trees. The fire marshal, we found out, wanted a road around. I mean, so just different things that we didn't even expect. that we didn't know, the type of sprinkler system, an extra, fire hydrant in the back, I mean, these are all different things that, come up in planning, and honestly more so when executing, when you actually start the actual build process. We didn't realize how much rock was here in Stanley County, and there's a lot of rock, and so we were just crossing our fingers, hoping it was going to be terrible, right?
So yeah. But yeah, throughout the process, it was awesome seeing it go from the graders coming out here and just grading the land, taking the dirt, dumping it out, moving it around, building up the foundation, to the concrete guys coming out here when it was 100 degrees out here, just prepping, getting the rebar and the footings and digging for the footings and everything. It was just an awesome process to see it. We have a great time-lapse video of them pouring the actual slab.
Yeah.
Starting it at midnight and finishing at 6 a.m. in the morning, so it's not too hot for the concrete to start curing. Because when you pour concrete, you don't want it to be too hot. So I learned that process.
And just so y'all know, John was in his element this whole time. John and your dad, my Uncle Jimmy, are the Mr. Fix-It builders of the whole family, our whole family. And I just love seeing you and your dad. Your dad too would come all the time, look around, hand on the hip, give some pretty good ideas too, some pretty good suggestions. Uncle Jimmy, shout out to Uncle Jimmy out there. He definitely has an eye for efficiency and building and stuff like that. So definitely. It definitely runs in the genes, because this guy definitely got it from his dad. So, but yeah, the slab, the whole thing, the excavating, I think that whole thing is pretty cool. And then once it starts coming together, it's even more cool. Like the building showing up after 7 months of ordering it, and then Dan coming to put it together, lifting it up. I mean, you saw the whole thing. You were here every day.
Yeah, it was just an awesome process. Then the thought of the way that they think, or the process that they do it, he would fix everything on the ground and then get 3 cranes to lift it up, instead of doing it section by section in the air, which could be more dangerous. They did all the grunt work on the ground and then lifted it up, which was, I was like, that's pretty awesome. And seeing it actually happen was pretty impressive. I freaking loved it.
Yeah, I'm only here at the office at the warehouse on Fridays, and so I would see big jumps and think, I mean, wow, like the whole roof is on, or wow, like the beams are up, or wow, but you're here every day. You saw every single part of it, which I think is pretty cool. So yeah, honestly, and it's interesting. I remember telling our contractors at the end of last year, I felt like things were taking forever. You know what I mean? Like, when you're trying to get permitting from the county, from the state, I feel like it's just weeks will go by, and you're just waiting and waiting and waiting. And so I remember, Eric saying, like, dude, time is gonna pass quicker than you think, and it's like, just like that. 6, 7, 8, 9 months has gone by, and we're November the next year, and everything's done, right?
Yeah, I mean, it takes time. Like when I'm here, I'm like, all right, it might have passed quicker for you, but while I'm here, I'm just like looking at this space. It's been ready for 2 weeks now, ready for us to just move products in, but we have the final inspections and the fire sprinklers. Today. Yes, today actually. So it's just a process, and you're just like, dude, it's open. Let's start moving things in, but we got to get everything approved. So it's
fun. It's fun. Yeah. It's exciting. And you know what? We're pumped for the future. Actually, why don't we talk a little bit about the front remodel?
Yeah.
I mean, whenever we first thought about doing this expansion, we had really no real plans to do a remodel in the front, right?
Right.
But as time went on, we were thinking about it, probably more so me than you. I was like, man, we can't be putting this much money into an expansion and then have an office that's not, just amazing. And so we agreed we'll do a small little remodel in our showroom and in our offices.
Right.
And so tell these guys a little bit about what that looks like as far as what we're doing up there, you know, cosmetically, things like that.
Yeah, so pretty much the retail showroom area, not a big remodel. We just changing the floors, doing some painting, changing a few sprinkler heads to, you know, make them look a little sleeker, newer.
Yeah.
The big remodels in the office, we're getting rid of my office, which was part of the big office, but, you know, we knocked those walls down to make the main office bigger, more spacious, open it up. And I'm moving into a different room, which, you know, I'm still going to be with everybody, keeping an eye on everything. But no, it's so much going to be so much nicer. We're changing the floors, lighting, ceiling tiles, painting. You know, as we're growing, this change just, I feel like it's more of a boost in energy for the whole team.
Of course.
Than anything.
It's such a little, I mean, I don't want to say little victory because it's a big victory, but it's a good little reminder that as a company progresses, and if you have the right leadership and ownership, and they're not always just taking money out of the company and they're putting it back into the company, which, you know, just so you guys know, that's a suggestion that I make to any founders, CEOs, leadership executives. You know, make sure the business does well. Make sure it's healthy. Don't be taking too much money out. You know, here's why. There will be opportunities that you can take advantage of in the future if you're properly prepared, if you have money on hand, if you're ready to strike, because opportunity doesn't wait. Opportunity comes and it goes.
Yep.
And you've got to be ready to strike when the iron is hot. And so I say all that to say that run the business properly, right? Like don't be thinking short term, think long term. If that's what your goal is.
Yeah.
If your goal is to have, you know, a smaller business, to take money out, that's totally fine. But if you want to continue to scale and grow, definitely think about the health of the business. You know, make sure you're properly prepared. Make sure you're ready to do the proper things. And so yeah, I mean, we did a small little remodel, and it definitely, I definitely can feel the energy of the team, excited, enthusiastic. And just so you guys know, we're right in the middle of that right now. We still have probably another
2 weeks,
2 to 3 weeks of office remodel, new showroom. John's got a nicer, bigger office. We opened up kind of the main office area where everybody was there, and so that's exciting as well. But yeah, okay. Any last words, any last thoughts on our expansion or anything like that?
Don't be afraid to take risks, because that's what this company, or being in a business owner, entrepreneurship, it's all about taking risks. Don't be scared to do it. You know, 95% of the time, if you're not afraid to take the risk, it'll prevail for you. Sometimes the risk, you know, you fail, but you just have to get up and do it again.
Which, you know, you got to be willing to take that on the chin.
Yeah.
If it fails, it fails. We screwed up.
We've made our fair share of mistakes, and you know.
And you know what? We'll make more.
Yeah. So, you know, bad buys at the wrong time, or purchase that you think is gonna, you know, help out, but it, you know, doesn't move as fast as you expect. But, you know, you live, you learn. You just gotta keep pushing on. Now that's one thing that I feel like's made me successful in purchasing is, you know, I'm not afraid to just buy it and you know,
deal with it.
You know, I know I have the confidence in you to push it, whether it be to the person we got it for, to someone else, or anything.
Yeah, we'll move it.
Yeah, so just don't be afraid to take risks. You know, that'll just get in your way.
Yeah.
You know,
just to double back on that, I think another thing that's important is just having self-confidence. Like, I've got confidence. You know, I think it's easier to take a little bit of a risk when you have the confidence in your people. Like,
Right.
I've got confidence in John. I've got confidence in our office team, you know, and George and Coop and Kay and the rest of the office. I got confidence in our drivers and our warehouse staff that, you know what, we will be like, you know, obviously you want to make a calculated risk, but at the end of the day, you have to jump.
Yeah.
Like, you have to just go out there. And so, you know, I think having the confidence that, you know what, okay, you know what, we may have done this, we may have lost money here. That might have, been a bad move. But if you don't do it, you never know.
Exactly.
And I'd rather do it and regret it than not do it and then regret that.
Yeah.
Like, dang, we should have built a little bigger. We should have, done this move or done that move. And it's like, you know what? Okay. Well, you know what? Now we did it. Now, hindsight's 20/20 always, and you can't project everything, but I like that. Cool. Anything else? Any other thoughts?
No, man. It's just we got some exciting things happening here at the end of the year. Be ready. We're always looking to grow. So.
Yeah, big news. Big news coming out of APS. We'll keep you guys posted. Can't really share too much now, but just know that your boys here at APS, the whole company, we are on the move. We are on the move. We're ready to make things happen. We're ready to shake things up and continue to evolve and progress and take ground every single day, every single week. And that comes from the top. We both have a work ethic. We both, want to continue to strive to be better versions of ourselves. And so it's exciting. But anyway,
yeah,
I think that's it.
Yep.
Okay. Well, good to see you guys. A little bit of an update. I know you guys have seen like my little warehouse update videos. This is the last one, all right? And we did it together as business partners. And so happy birthday again to John.
Yep.
And it's going to be, yes, we'll keep you guys posted. We'll do some videos. Shout out to Cisco on us filling this thing up and racking it at some point and kind of doing the whole thing. But anyway, good to see you guys. Have an incredible Thanksgiving, if this goes out before, if it goes after Christmas. And, have an incredible holiday season. Remember that, I don't know, I hate saying this, but because I know I want us to think about other people always throughout the year, not just the holiday season, but especially this time of year. Think about your families and, the year that you had and, things that you want to, accomplish moving forward. So anyway, great to see you guys. And we'll talk to you guys soon.
Yep. Take care, guys.